Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Allison Carlson here to chat with you Monday through Thursday. Every morning, I'm sharing with you health tips, answering your questions. I'm just here talking about health, nutrition, chiropractic, exercise, and I am here to serve you. So, if you're watching the video live, as always, wave, say hi, let me know that you're here. If you're watching the replay, say hi in the replay. Let me know your questions, your concerns, thoughts that you might have. Maybe it's just something you want clarification on. I will add it into my topic list, and I will make sure that I get it answered as quickly as possible. So, this week is a little bit of a different week, and I guess I need to look into what later on in the week looks like. But on Thursday, we are flying to Orlando because I am speaking at the ICA, which is the International Chiropractic Association. I'm speaking at the ICA Pediatric Super Conference. So I'm super excited. I love presenting to chiropractors. It's something I'd love to do more and more. But this week, I'm going to give you little snippets of my presentation. So it's kind of a win-win. You guys can learn some cool things, and I can practice a little bit, right? So we're okay with having this be a symbiotic relationship, right? So what I am talking about at the ICA Pediatric Super Conference is writing reactions and equilibrium responses. So I know if you're not a chiropractor, I just lost you guys all, right? But it's pretty simple. This is the way that I will explain it. So your writing reactions mean that your eyes always want to stay level, right? So if you're running, if you're dribbling a basketball, if you're sitting somewhere and you're reading, our eyes always want to be level. They don't like it when we tilt like this because then our eyes have to see the image, then our brain has to interpret it so that it's not crooked, right? So that's our writing reaction. And then our equilibrium responses is what helps us maintain proper balance. But we have certain reactions in our body, reflexes in our body that are called primitive reflexes they're actually present when you're like in the womb. So when a mom is pregnant, the baby already has these primitive reflexes. And these primitive reflexes help with development in the womb. They help with the birthing process, and then they help keep them alive in that first year of life. So one of the reactions, what I want to talk to you about is how we get rid of those primitive reflexes, okay? So that happens through experience. So you know how people say that, like, you should put a baby on the floor and the baby should have tummy time and the baby should lay on its back. Hey, good morning, John. So the baby needs experience. The baby needs to move. The baby needs to crawl. Okay. So me personally, Molly is how old's Molly? She's 11 and she did not crawl for very long. And she actually walked at about 9 months. And it's funny because people think, oh my gosh, she's so smart. She's so advanced because she walked so early. But that's not the case. It has nothing to do with that, but it has everything to do with getting rid of these primitive reflexes that we don't want hanging around. Because Molly needed that time crawling, bending those knees, reaching forward with the opposite arm, opposite leg, feeling textures. All of those things help to develop those writing reflexes that I was talking about and our equilibrium response. So the writing reflexes help. So as Molly's crawling, she has to tilt her head back to look straight ahead where she's going. Or if she wants to pick something up off the floor. So Molly, we always joked and said she was like our vacuum cleaner. If there was like the teeny tiniest little fleck of like lint or something on the floor, she would find it and she would have to like examine it. But her eyes are going to follow where her body is going. Then when they're crawling, they go fast, they go slow, something startles them, and they like reach out to stabilize themselves. That's developing that equilibrium response, which is super important, right? And then all of this changes when they're sitting, crawling, standing, running. So we need months and months and months at each of these stages for this to properly develop, not only creating pathways from our brain to our body, but also for us to learn how to quickly auto-correct without even having to think about it, right? So if you're, yesterday I was in the kitchen and I was chopping up vegetables, right? So as adults, we all know if you drop a knife, you just step back, right? You don't go to grab it because you're more likely to cut yourself. Well, that is a trained response that happens over time that I didn't even have to think about it, right? It becomes this natural reaction. And that's what we want to happen when kids are developing and they need time. So we need to crawl. We need to walk somewhere. I mean, ideally, I would say that you would walk in between 12 and 14 months. But so like with Molly, when she really wanted to walk at like 8 months. And so we got down on the floor with her. We did not hold her hand to try to stabilize her and help her walk. If she would stand up on the couch and start to like cruise down the couch, we would just set her down and redirect her, because that part of development is so important. And what it does, it gets rid of those, the crawling, the learning to walk at appropriate ages, help to get rid of those primitive reflexes that we're born with. And then you move on and you replace them with righting reflexes, with equilibrium responses that we keep for the rest of our lives. So if you learned something new this morning, let me know. I will be on tomorrow chatting with you more about what I'm going to be talking about this weekend at the Pediatric Super Conference, and I will keep letting you know how you can apply this to your own life. Have a great day, guys.